Hey guys, Captain D&D Donut here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Showstopper, or the AA-12. This gun got released in update 1.3, so pretty recently. It was supposed to be in update 1.2, but for some it got delayed for some reason or the other. But after grinding in Lexington Event Center and in Lincoln Point Checkpoint for a while, this weapon didn't drop, so I went to the Hudson Refugee Camp, and it happened to drop there for me. Now, you can get it by doing any mission on Heroic, any of the daily missions that are available to do on Heroic. You can unlock it that way, and it can drop at the end. I'm not sure about the percentage of drop, like how many times you have to do it. I grinded it for hours, but fortunately it dropped. Also, I heard that you can also do it through the Incursion, but I think it's only in Dragon's Nest. Not 100% sure. I don't own the DLC, and I don't look into it that much, but I found out that I could do it through the daily mission, so I figured that'd be a lot easier than running through the Incursion and try to get it that way. Anyway, so it dropped its gear score 229, which is pretty awesome, which brings my gear score up to 222, which is one of my favorite numbers because it has all the 2s in it. But anyway, let's take a look at the talents that it has on it. So, first one it has, and full disclosure, mine did not drop Meticulous. I ended up rolling it. Actually, I really love Meticulous, and because, as you can see, the magazine is pretty large. It has 20 shots per clip. So the chance of you actually killing someone and then not having to reload is pretty high. I've gotten through missions and haven't even used like more than 30 rounds because this kept refilling my clip free, in a sense, free charge, which is pretty awesome. Does 106,000 DPS, has 37,000 damage, says per shot. RPM's pretty high, actually 240, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty accurate and pretty stable into like the last 10 shots. The stability gets kind of crazy at that point. I'll show you that later. But anyway, I rolled Meticulous on it, which is my favorite talent to have. It's really, in my opinion, it's a really good talent. For PvE, anyway. If you're doing PvP, I kind of doubt that it'll ever come in handy, honestly. I don't think it'll save your life too often. The next one is Fierce that got dropped. I'd like to get my gear good enough to where I can actually unlock this one, because I do like that the critical hit chance is increased by 9%, which I think is pretty cool. The last one is Showstopper. As you can see there, your accuracy with this weapon is increased the fewer shells you have left in it. That seems to also increase the recoil after the first 10 or so shots once you get pretty low. But the accuracy gets pretty darn accurate. Like, imagine if you played like something like Battlefield and you had a 12 gauge slug. It's accurate like that, which is pretty awesome. We'll take a look at it. I have a small RDS scope on it and a hand stop FDE for increased accuracy and stability for the hand stop, and for the small scope it's critical hit chance and even more accuracy. As you can see, unfortunately, you can't change the muzzle, so you can't put a suppressor on it, which I think would be a load of fun. And you can't increase the magazine size and fire rate, which would make it even more amazing, in my honest opinion. Like, if you could get the fire rate to almost, well, maybe not double, but if you can get it like pretty high or any higher, that would be pretty awesome. You can also put a skin on it, which is pretty awesome too, if you want to put any kind of skin that you do have on it. I know not all name weapons you can do that, but this one you can, which I like a lot. So, yeah, let's go. Alright, so I'm going to go do some search and destroy missions, and seeing as there's 3 of them, that'll actually help me out a little bit. That way I can show you what it'll do to these guys through its normal shots, the explosive rounds, and the incendiary rounds. So, first things first. Let's see, hopefully we can tear these guys apart pretty easily. And as you can see, it does get more accurate as you shoot it, and it, well, as it runs out of ammo, which, like I said before, is actually pretty cool, and it can be helpful. So if you need to, you can actually try to go for some headshots. For the way I have it set up, which is pretty meticulous, I can try to get a few headshots, and it's very accurate, so the chance of me actually getting the hits is pretty good. And I can try to get my full clip back, which, like I said before, is pretty awesome. That way you don't have to reload it often, and you can have plenty of ammo, because it is still a shotgun, so you're not going to be carrying around over 1,000 rounds unless you have some insane gear set up. But we'll cut to the next section. That way I can go ahead and show you off the explosive rounds. Alright, now we're coming up on the next area here. Guys in the garage. I think it's only going to be probably around 3 people, which isn't going to be too fun. It's going to be kind of a waste, but you can still see how much it'll stagger these guys. Which I forgot to mention, this actually has a pretty high stagger percentage. So, oh sweet, it's actually a good for you guys. But yeah, having explosive rounds on this is pretty darn awesome in my opinion. Especially if you can get close enough to them and make sure a lot of them hit. It staggers bosses pretty well also. Like especially the big guys with the flamethrowers, like the huge guys. Knocks them around quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, you can make pretty quick work of people with this and explosive rounds, especially if you have your damage up, which I'm on pretty okay, but I'm talking about probably like 300,000 or something like that. If you can get it up there, I imagine this thing will take down people pretty easily. But next, let's go ahead and look at the ensign rounds and hop into a hard mission. I'll give like a final review in a sense. Alright, making our way to the last group of guys here. Going for the fire bullets. See if we can find these guys with the pulse. Looks like they're up there on the left. Oh, coming out the building. Sweet. I think the fire rounds help shred through armor, which is actually pretty awesome. Like pretty short work of these guys too. And yeah, that's it. I mean, less than 30 seconds, and you could take down a group of enemies like that. And like I said, because I have a meticulous on, and I didn't even need the reload, so that's pretty darn awesome. Alright, we're on Madison Field Hospital. Gonna be running through this one on hard. Now, you might be wondering why exactly I'm gonna be running through it on hard. 1, because it's just me. And 2, shotgun's really not the best, or at least not the way I have my class set up to be running through missions on challenging. You can do it, maybe not solo, just with this, but it is possible to use it on challenging. It's just that you're probably going to go through the entire clip trying to kill one person, which could, depend on what talents roll, it could be viable, like if you can get something like brutal or deadly, or even like destructive, which is another one of my favorites. But or one, I think ferocious, which allows you to do more damage to elite and named enemies, which would be pretty helpful. You could probably do it with no problem, but like, I just can't really see it being too useful inside of like an incursion or something like that. Just because of how little ammo the shotgun will get and how much damage this one actually outputs. But if you do pretty much nothing, or if you like doing HVT missions, search and destroys, missions on hard for the dailies, just to earn some Phoenix credits and things like that, I see no problem with the shotgun whatsoever. It is wonderful for that. I think you will definitely love it if you want to do it that, but it just depends because it might not be worth the grind. Like I said, it took me quite a few hours of doing pretty much the same missions over and over again to actually get get the weapon. So hopefully, it just depends on the use case to you. Now it is something cool to have. I mean, if you want to just go and unlock it, just unlock it out. I mean, I wouldn't really see any problem with that. Just know what you're trying to get yourself into, essentially. I am curious if you can get more than one of these. Because if I can get another one, that'd be pretty awesome, especially having Lone Star. So even if one does run out of ammo, right? If you have the Lone Star bonus set, which allows you to, your holster weapon automatically refills its clip, you can just keep switching in between both of the AA-12s and just continue to wreck people for days, really. I mean,
that's who we do this for, Agent.
That's just a really good way to go about it. If you can get to in the Lone Star set, which actually does give this an extra 1,000 damage, I do believe, for like, I believe that's a set bonus. Yeah, plus 1,000 shotgun damage. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome if you could do that. So I think that would be pretty helpful and pretty fun. Because I already did that with a Super 90, which is the M1014.
So be careful.
And yeah, never having to reload 2 shotguns running through missions on like hard or and like some either lower tier HVT missions or search and destroy missions is definitely a load of fun. Plus it just looks cool having 2 shotguns on your back. But I do wish that you could increase like the clip size and fire rate. Maybe in a future update you can do something like that. I kind of doubt that they would change it that drastically, but that could be useful. Also didn't really talk about the PvP use of this because too much anyway, because I don't go into the dark zone. It really is now just like a PvP area, it seems, to where people will just kill you because, I mean, that's kind of what you do in the dark zone. Or at least that's what I see on like live streams and things like that. But oh man, I'm doing horribly hitting this guy. But I just don't know. I mean, it could do a pretty good amount of damage to people in PvP. It is a shotgun, and I know at least the enemy shotguns can take you down pretty quickly. So if it can do any kind of damage close to this to normal people, then if you have the correct setup, I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to take down someone very quickly, like before they even know it.
The escort party's taking heavy fire from the roof.
Yeah, I like it. I'll keep using it, like I said, because I'm just a PvP player, so a lot of the other things like don't really bother me too much. The stagger is pretty awesome. I mean, you hit them so fast and so many shots, so they're pretty much going to be constantly staggered any enemy. So that's pretty awesome, and like I said, it'd be pretty great for bosses. Once you get to the last boss, well, the actual boss of this mission here, I'm going to throw on my signature skill. There we go, and see how fast it can take down all of these guys up here. Also, keep your signature skill going over and over again, and like I said before, the way I have mine set up when meticulous, you shouldn't even have to reload through this entire thing, so this should be pretty fun. I'm gonna see if I can just get the boss to come down immediately. I'm pretty sure all you have to do is just get close enough to him under here and he'll try to come down. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we take him down pretty easily, no issues. And take down any of his, the rest of his buddies here.
Warning. Additional hostiles incoming.
Yeah, and I did have to end up reloading, but I mean, signature skill is active the entire time, even after the mission, so you can take people out pretty quickly with that active also. And I mean, imagine you throw on some explosive rounds to launch your signature skill. I kind of doubt much of it. Like, anything that you're shooting at probably isn't going to be doing much of anything with it. But yeah, that's pretty much my review or overview of the AA-12 / the Showstopper. Very awesome gun. Probably isn't good for heroic missions, incursions, PvP, or even challenging missions, but I mean, I really do like it a lot for what I do and how I play the game, which is mainly PvE. It's a really fun weapon to have. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.